आज की इस प्रेरक कहानी में we're diving into something absolutely crucial. Welcome to today's Explainer, where we're going to unpack a really gripping narrative. It's a story about trust, the hidden dangers of procrastination, and ultimately survival. We're looking at a timeless fable today that honestly holds a mirror right up to our own daily habits.
I want you to think about this for just a second. Have you ever trusted someone else with your absolute most important task only to be completely let down? I mean, we've all been there, right? You hand off a critical responsibility, you just assume it's being handled, and then crickets. Nothing happens. But imagine if the stakes weren't just a missed deadline. Imagine if it was literally a matter of life and death. Well, that's exactly the high-stakes situation a mother bird finds herself in as she tries to protect her nest.
Section 1. The nest in the field. So, let's set the scene here. Picture this really peaceful, lush green wheat field. A farmer planted it, and as the crops grew tall and thick, a small bird decided, hey, this is the perfect hidden spot to build my nest. She laid 2 eggs, and soon enough, 2 tiny babies hatched. And for a while, life in that wheat field was quiet, safe, and just perfectly content. But, time passes, and nature takes its course. The wheat ripens up. It turns this deep, heavy golden brown, meaning it is finally ready for harvest. Now, the farmer, he comes to the field every single day. He looks at his crop, he knows for a fact it's time to cut it, but he just keeps procrastinating. He puts it off, day after day after day. And this hesitation, it starts building this incredible underlying tension in our story. Which brings us to section 2, the false alarms. So we're entering a sequence of these suspenseful visits from the farmer over 3 crucial days. We see this distinct pattern of false alarms and delay tactics that just cause immense anxiety for those little birds hiding deep in the crops. And this establishes a classic rule of 3 timeline. It's a storytelling technique that really ramps up the escalating tension as our harvest clock ticks down. Day 1, day 2, day 3. Let's actually zoom in and look closely at what exactly happens on that first day. Notice the farmer's attitude here. The baby birds hear the farmer stand in the field and basically say, tomorrow I will call my neighbors to harvest. He sounds completely unmotivated, right? He's just passing the buck to someone else. But to the babies in the nest, oh man, this strikes absolute terror. They literally think their home is going to be completely destroyed the very next morning. So when the mother bird returns from gathering food, the frantic babies tell her everything. But notice her response. She just says, don't worry, tomorrow the crop won't be cut. It's such a stark contrast, isn't it? The farmer's lazy reliance on others versus the mother bird's calm, confident assurance. She understands human nature perfectly. And wouldn't you know it, she was right. The neighbors never showed up and the field remained completely untouched. Let's see how this pattern plays out. On day 1, he relies on his neighbors. On day 2, the farmer returns and makes the exact same mistake, this time saying he's going to send his relatives. Once again, the babies absolutely panic. Once again, the mother calmly predicts they won't come. And once again, she hits the nail right on the head. She is entirely correct. Section 3. The farmer's resolution. We finally reach the evening of the 3rd day, and this is where the energy really shifts. We see a massive paradigm shift in the farmer's mindset. The whole tone completely changes. This is the absolute turning point right here. The farmer stands alone in his field and declares with just total conviction, I will no longer rely on anyone. Tomorrow morning, I will cut my crop myself. You can practically hear the change in his voice, right? The energy, that strong realization. He has finally stopped passing the buck and has actually taken personal responsibility. Section 4, the time to fly. Let's pivot back down to the nest for a second, because the mother bird's reaction to this new statement, it changes absolutely everything. Suddenly, there is this intense, palpable urgency. That calm, collected mother bird from the past 2 days, she is completely gone. She immediately tells her babies, we must fly away from here tonight itself. They have to evacuate immediately, right now, under the cover of night. There is literally 0 time left to spare. Naturally, the baby birds are just completely confused by her sudden panic. They ask the perfect question. Mother, earlier when you talked about calling others, you weren't scared at all, so why now? And, this question is honestly the perfect bridge for us to transition from the fable itself into a deeper analytical breakdown of the moral we're exploring in today's Explainer. Section 5, the power of self-reliance. So, the mother bird shares her profound wisdom. She explains to her young that as long as the farmer was relying on others, his neighbors, his relatives, well, failure was almost guaranteed. Let's be real, people rarely prioritize someone else's work over their own. But a personal pledge, that changes the game. That guarantees action.
And this brilliantly illustrates the core concept of the story: self-reliance. The definition is simple, but it is incredibly powerful. It's simply not leaving your most important tasks to others. By doing so, the farmer finally ensured his crop would actually be harvested. And the mother bird? Well, she knew the threat was finally truly real.
So let's break down the mechanics of this. It's actually a really straightforward sequential two-step process. Step 1 is taking personal responsibility onto your own shoulders. Honestly, this is the only true prerequisite for step 2, which is achieving success. As long as step 1 is outsourced to your neighbors or your relatives, well, step 2 just remains a fantasy. To cleanly summarize what we've unpacked in this explainer, there are really 2 core takeaways you should keep in mind. First, self-reliance. You absolutely must do your own vital work. And second, timely decision-making. You have to recognize exactly when the real danger is imminent, just like that mother bird did, and take immediate action before disaster strikes. So, I want to leave you with this final, hard-hitting question. Take a look at your own life right now. Are you waiting for your neighbors to harvest your field? Are you procrastinating on your most important goals just because you're relying on someone else to step up and do the heavy lifting? Stop waiting. Take responsibility and harvest your own success. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you on the next one.